What's going on, Rockstars? Welcome back to the Rockstarflipper YouTube channel. And as I predicted a week ago, just about a week ago, the state governments are starting to go after Amazon to collect sales tax. Remember, we discussed last week that apparently the states are losing $13 billion in unpaid sales tax from third-party online e-commerce resellers, albeit eBay, Amazon, etc. So essentially the way that it works is whatever state that you live in, when a customer buys from you in that state, you pay sales tax. If you charge them sales tax, then you collect that money from them as part of the sale, and you send that money off to your state's Department of Revenue, which is typically can be done on the internet. Some states I think might be different, you have to go in or mail it in, but most states, and I would hope that all of them by now, are on the internet to file state tax and pay state tax. If you don't charge the customer sales tax and they just give you 50 bucks for an item, then you have to do the calculations. Here where I live, it's 7%, and you would just calculate that 7%, which would be 35 cents on that $50 purchase, and I would mail that to the state the same or pay it online or however. So a lot of the problems come for FBA Amazon sellers because you store your inventory in other states. So what happens is you have to file to pay sales tax in the locations that you have inventory. So if you live in Florida, where I live, and Amazon has you send merchandise off to Arizona, you would have to contact the Arizona Department of Revenue on their internet site, file, get a sales tax resale certificate, and then start sending them the sales tax on any purchases made by Arizona customers. So you would have to keep track of where your inventory is located all over the country if it's in multiple places, and keep track of who's buying from you. It can become a real pain in the butt. For eBay sellers and those of you on Amazon that are just fulfilled by merchant and everything is in-house and you don't have any employees or inventory out in other states, that's called a nexus. It's called maintaining a presence in another state. If you have an inventory or an employee, you're responsible for those other states. So mostly eBay is okay because everything is kept in your state. So the governments, the state governments mainly, and I think the federal governments are kind of getting in line to kind of set something up. Massachusetts is the first state that threatened a legal lawsuit against Amazon. And they basically said, hey, a lot of your sellers are not collecting sales tax and paying us, or not charging customers and paying us. But we also believe there are customers who are located outside of Massachusetts, which is the biggest problem, who have inventory in your fulfillment centers in Boston, in Massachusetts, and they're not contacting us directly in order to report those sales and in turn pay the sales tax on them. So what they had asked Amazon to do, which initially Amazon declined and said no way, was they want them to turn over the sales records for all sellers located in Massachusetts. So if you're an Amazon seller within the state of Massachusetts, and any seller with inventory maintained in the state of Massachusetts and any fulfillment centers from Amazon. They're also asking other platforms like eBay and whatnot as well, but they mainly went after Amazon and had to threaten a lawsuit. Now, a lot of people are saying that Amazon was right to decline. I don't feel that way. I feel like if you're in Massachusetts, you need to pay your Massachusetts sales tax. I agree with that 100%. I'm in Florida, I have to pay my Florida sales tax. But for those of us outside of a state, and that customer is buying from us simply because we have inventory stored somewhere, I don't believe that the act of storing a piece of inventory in another state opens us up for a taxable liability in that state. So me sending my inventory to Amazon's warehouse in Massachusetts, I don't feel like I should have to pay Massachusetts sales tax on any of those items that sell in Massachusetts. However, if I opened up a business, if I bought a building or I rented an office in another state and I put my own inventory there, yes, I could see that because I'm the business owner. Essentially, this is going through a third-party company. I'm the third-party seller, but Amazon is my third-party storage facility. They're paying rent, they're paying property taxes to the state, they're paying land tax, they're paying all that stuff. I don't believe that that's right. And so Massachusetts is the first state. They're going to get the sales tax now, and if you don't report it, you're gonna get in a lot of trouble if you live in Massachusetts and you don't report sales tax. If you have any inventory stored in Massachusetts at an Amazon fulfillment facility, which you can find out by going to your inventory on Amazon and pulling up your active FBA inventory, it will tell you where it's stored at. You can pull that report. It's very, very easy. If you have any in Massachusetts, you need to contact the Massachusetts Department of Revenue, which I'm sure they're on Google. You have to Google it up, and tell them you are a seller with Amazon. You sell stuff out of the state. You don't live there. You need a certificate for their state. And then at the end of every quarter or every month or every year, however they collect it, in Florida, it's every quarter. Most states, I think, is every quarter. You will need to tell them every sale you did in Massachusetts, what it was totaled to, and how much sales tax it was. So what is the way to protect yourself, cover yourself, and combat this? There's no real way to fight it. Since Massachusetts fell in line, all the rest of the states are gonna fall in line eventually. I think the federal government is gonna come up with a mandated way of doing this. And so my recommendation to you as an Amazon seller is just set up the tax settings to collect the sales tax from the customers, and then you have to make sure you pay it. Now, what I'm hoping is, as the states set this up, they will work with Amazon, eBay, whatever these platforms are, and collect the money on your behalf. I'm hoping they won't require us to keep all the records, sign up with every state. There's some people that have inventory in 20 states. I mean, you're gonna take the time to sign up with 20 states records, which that's a lot of work. And I don't think it should be put on a third-party seller. I mean, literally there may be a job at your company or your little small business for one person to sit and keep track of this all day if you become an Amazon FBA seller. And I don't think that's fair. I think that they should handle that. And so I agree with the fact of collecting the sales tax. I don't agree with the fact of us having to do all the work for it. So that's my thoughts on that. Again, if you're in Massachusetts, you are in the crosshairs. Make sure you're doing it correctly. And you should be doing it correctly in any state, because if Massachusetts fell in line that quickly, after they threatened to sue Amazon, everyone else is gonna fall in line behind them. I'm gonna link you guys the news story to this down below. Don't panic, don't freak out, don't go crazy. Sales tax is really easy. If you're an eBay only seller, you don't have to worry about this. Just pay sales tax for the state you live in, you're good. If you're an Amazon seller and you do FBM, you don't ship it to FBA, you're good. Same story with eBay, just pay the sales tax. If you are an FBA seller, then you might want to start asking some questions, leave them down in the comments. We can talk about it. You can email me, rockstarflipper@gmail.com. It's really easy though. If you get to that point, if you're a business owner, you're on that level, probably have a pretty good understanding of how sales tax works. So with that being said, I'll let you guys go. I knew this was coming. It's not a surprise. It's no reason to panic, but it is something you guys should be educated on and that you should be notified of. So I figured y'all would want to know. Massachusetts has officially agreed to collect sales tax on behalf of sellers in Amazon and Amazon FBA programs. So look for that to start soon. I don't know how soon they're implementing it. Could be next month, could be in a few months, could be a year. I don't know. I'll have to check that out. But I'll link the news story, all the information about it down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please give me a big thumbs up. Please make sure you share this video. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel. I've heard people are getting unsubscribed, so just double check that you are subscribed. I really appreciate that as well. And check out the description box. As always, everything else you need down there. eBay store link, Amazon links, all that good stuff. And until tomorrow, Thursday, I will see you then.